You're listening to Making Money Online with Lisa Johnson, the podcast that tells you what it really takes to build a business and the simple steps to get you there. I'm determined to share with you the reality of easy, simple business marketing tips to make passive income so that you can start making money online. If you want to be as visible as possible right now, then you know that PR is the best way to maximize your credibility and expertise. The doors are now open to PR Mastery, the course, brought to you by former journalist and PR expert Nicola Rowley. As part of the 9-week live teach course, you will learn how to get started with PR, find out what journalists do and don't want, get your story and key messages written for you, and you'll qualify for a virtual brand photo shoot too. To find out more and sign up before doors close at 10 p.m. on Friday the 30th of June, visit go.njrpr.com/course. Julie, welcome to the podcast. It's so nice to have you here.
Thank you, Lisa. I am just so excited to spend some time with you and to have this chat.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. There's so much that I want to talk about with you. Obviously, we were just chatting before about a few things. But first, tell me a little bit about what got you started, because you've actually been coaching for years, haven't you?
Yeah, so I was coaching and people were like, what are you doing? Wait, are you coaching like a basketball team? Like, what do you mean? I was like, no, I'm coaching people and leaders around their life from an integrative approach. I had a coach that I worked with over 15 years ago that changed my life and realized I wanted to go back and get my degree in this. I thought, as a psychology background, didn't necessarily want to be a therapist, but wanted to help people to move past, beliefs and traumas and issues to really be your best self, what I call your youest you.
Yeah. And you did that in corporate. And then what made you decide, well, actually, no, I'm going to go and start my own thing?
Yeah, girl, this is like, if you looked at what was happening, it kind of didn't make any sense at the time. I was, working in a corporate job. I had a really good job. I was there a while. I had a lot of responsibility. I will say there was some inequity with pay, which was upsetting. I liked a lot of what I did. Let's just say that I liked it. I got a lot of experience. I'm grateful for that opportunity. However, I realized in being coached myself and then starting to do a lot of deep inner work, I really felt like I excavated my best self and realized, you know what? I don't want to just be in a job that feels good and fine. I really want to do something that feels passionate and feels like it's aligned. And so I went back, got my master's degree in coaching from a health and wellness kind of perspective. And, at the same time was struggling with, I was getting divorced. I had 2 kids under the age of 5. And I had my own health breakdown. I had been pushing so hard, working so hard, and ended up, in the ER on a beach trip with my then boyfriend. I was separated, in the ER because my adrenals, my thyroid, everything was like, girl, you got to stop. You're not taking care of yourself. And I'm still to this day in a place of healing and recovery, and realize I really want to help other ambitious, really high energy entrepreneurs, people that want to do big things in this world, that want to make a difference. I want to do that. I want to coach them, I want to help them. And so after I got my degree, I actually left my job with a bonus, with benefits. I left to start my own business. I had no background in starting a business. I was a single mom.
People must have thought you were crazy.
Yeah. People, I had friends in the office that were like, Julie, we love you. Like, we believe in you. Are you sure? Like, you sure? I had, Lisa, 2 coaching clients, right? From my master's degree at a practicum. They wanted to work with me, still stay on. I was at the time a personal trainer. I was like, well, let me at least get the gym for free. Let me take care of my body. So I became a personal trainer. I had 2 personal training clients, one who's become one of my dearest friends. And I had like a little side gig that I found in a startup doing health coaching. And that ended up folding. They were completely not in integrity. And I was like, holy crap, here I am. I left, yes, as a single mom, with very little that was there. Yet I felt maybe it was just complete ignorance, or just that whole like starry-eyed following my heart. But I was like, I'm doing this. I want to help people. This was just under a decade ago. And those friends of mine in the office were like, "Oh my God, I can't believe, like, look at what's created now." But yeah, they thought I was absolutely cray cray.
But it's so good that you did do it because you've helped so many people since then. One of the things I want to talk to you about is you were talking about your adrenals and the kind of health stuff that you went through 10 years ago. I believe that's prevalent in the industry at the moment. And I talk quite openly on here about my own health struggles. And one of the things that I was told this year, like, for ages, people would say to me, "Oh, you're stressed. That's the problem. Like, you're doing so much." And I'd go, I honestly don't feel stressed. And I don't. My head runs really well on stress. Like adrenaline, I thrive off it. And so I'm like, go, 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 do all the things. And it makes me feel amazing. But actually, somebody said to me this year, you might not feel stressed, but your body will feel it, whether your head does or not. And I think that that's so true. And that there's so many people that are high achieving people that are doing all these great things, but actually they're not really taking care of their health as well as they should do because they don't realize they need to. So
Yes.
talk to me about adrenals because people talk about this all the time and say,
Yep.
oh, it's your vagus nerve and your adrenals. What does that actually mean?
Yeah. Well, we are now in the territory that I've personally been working on healing and taking care of, and I've worked with many clients, and frankly, like I think this is the pandemic. One of the pandemics we're in is for those of us, and I think we're a breed, right, of ambitious, high achieving, like you love what you're doing, right? All those things. First of all, we're all made of energy. We know that, right? We're made of energy, and there's different kinds of energy. There's, you could call it the masculine energy and the feminine energy, the yin and the yang. The yang, that masculine, is pushing, doing, striving, achieving, becoming. I'm going to tell you right now, I love, 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 and probably like you and probably like our listeners, I love creating and making things and creating content and helping people and being out there. It's very much that aspect of the doing and creating, and high achiever, you're going to be in that category. The issue is, look at the ocean, right? Okay, this is a good example. Nature kind of gives us this, like in basic terms. You do not have just an ebb. You always have the flow. The water comes in, it comes out. There is a harmony, a balance, you can think about it as you're breathing. Inhale. If you are just inhaling, you're going to die in like 2 minutes. So we don't often know how. We don't have that shown to us or taught to us. Or the other part of it is the exhale, the flow, that taking time. And I'm not talking about, it's great to do yoga and meditation, but I'm talking about like real rest, real pausing, stopping, taking time away, allowing your body to slow down, to calm down. I get it. And I'll go a little woo here, but especially for those that got a lot of fire. I'm a fire sign, right? You got a lot of energy, want to make, you have that passion, right? You could think of it as that passion that's like, I want to make a difference. I want to help people. The problem is that fire, if it's not stoked, if it's not literally, brought into control, it's going to burn. It's going to burn you. It's going to burn through everything. And what happens is our body, first of all, we think like, okay, I'm okay in my head and my thoughts. Your body, it's speaking all times. Our body is so intelligent and wise. And so we're emitting chemicals and hormones all the time. So if you are constantly in that like excitement and pushing and doing, and you're constantly emitting, I'm even feeling it. My heart's beating. I'm like, a lot of cortisol, a lot of adrenaline, a lot of that, you might even get a dopamine hit from that. But what's not happening is you're not getting the rest and digest. So what happens is you put yourself into, and we know this through science, your body starts to memorize this chemical soup of fight, flight, fright. It also could be, I would put in there that kind of like that pushing, that doing. And what happens is we start to get into that state. We get used to that state. Our body memorizes that state, and we're now emitting adrenaline and cortisol way beyond the amount that is healthy and what's needed. Then that keeps happening. What's going to eventually happen is you're going to have adrenal fatigue. Your adrenaline, the adrenaline is going to continue to pump through your blood, and it's like putting you in that hyper state. So we have to create a new state, a new way of being, new flow state. There's so many ways of what you can call it, but I'm not just talking about like you meditate 20 minutes here and there. It's got to be like, as much as you are doing and achieving, I've learned this, got to create time and space to literally unplug, to unplug the light, because you're going to blow a fuse.
It's having balance, isn't it? But I think it's
Yeah.
really difficult for people to do that. Like, I
Yes.
try and do that and go, right, I'm going to go on holiday and I'm going to do nothing. I'm just going to lay there. Within 20 minutes, I'll be like, ooh, an idea. And, and then I'll go
Yes.
and write it down and play.
It's like the thing that's so beautiful about us, all of us and people listening, that this energy and this wanting to make an impact and being entrepreneurial, even if you haven't left your job yet, but you are creative and you have ideas, that's a beautiful thing. It can be really challenging to slow the train down. And I can tell you, I've been doing a lot of research on it, a lot of work on it. There are some practices and things that you can do. However, I got to say, and this is something I've had to really digest, it's not an overnight fix. It literally takes time to change the state, literally how your body is responding, your nervous system, that vagus nerve, which comes down. I mean, it branches out into all parts of your body. It comes down the midline, it goes into your gut, goes into, I mean, it's not just through your brain down into your, your heart and center line. Like, it's affecting all of your body. Your nervous system, it's a system, right? So it's not like we can just turn it on and off. It takes time. And the truth is, and I've had to digest this, it's not like, okay, you're gonna learn how to have that balance and then I'm gonna go back. No, it
Yeah.
has to be a shift. And that means things can change, and we have to be open to changing the way that we're doing our life and our business. And I can tell you, it's like taming that fire is challenging. It can be
Yeah,
really hard.
really important. But we learn so much about how to, get into that push state, how to, let's go, let's smash it, like, let's do success, let's goal set. And we actually change, I think, into being this person that has this adrenaline. Because I remember being quite calm in my 20s. And then this all happened. And so it's like, right, let's go, go, go. And how do we change ourselves into this successful high performer that does all of these things? But actually, I think that we really do need to teach ourselves how to do the other side as well.
Absolutely. And some of that is literally like coming into your body, feeling like, noticing, oh, you know what? I can feel like when I get super excited, or, I have a goal, or I'm going for it, or even those words like, I'm going to crush it. I'm like, you know what? I don't know if I want to crush it. Actually, I think my body's like, no, we actually want to take a rest.
Yeah, we don't want to crush it.
Yeah, I don't want to crush anything right now. I actually like to chill and rest and have some peace and calm. And so, there are things you can do. There's a practice. I'm working with and I've done these myself, and I'm working with somebody who does energy medicine, literally energy shifting. And one of the practices is called yoga nidra. It is not yoga moving around. I love yoga, but it's not that. You are laying down for 50 to 60 minutes. It is a guided practice that is calming left and right brain, and is literally putting you in a state where it activates your subconscious, where you can come literally calm in your body, and your body can start to feel safe and peaceful and restful. And so
this sounds like the kind of yoga I could be on board with.
yes, me too. Because I was like, I don't know about I'm like, yeah, I had an injury, and I'm like, nope, it's the other yoga, not today. But this, you literally lay down. It is magical. And ideally we're doing that, as much as possible daily, if you can. And that's one of the things. I mean, certainly the part of the issue is also the sleep and the lack of getting good rest. And what happens is, if we keep going, your body is going to feel it. And I always think about it, like, I know you, with the work you're doing, what I'm hoping to do, what anyone's listening, trying to make an impact. We want to be able to be here on the planet for a long time. And, you don't want to do the marathon, or the sprint where you're burning yourself out. And it's really, a wake up call. I'll tell you,
Yeah.
probably for you, it's a wake up call.
Yeah, it definitely was for me at the beginning of this year. And I've been exploring all sorts of different ways to just kind of find that middle ground and find that balance and find that rest, because I think it's so important. Now, one of the things that you help people with is like a holistic view of everything in your coaching. So it's multidimensional. It's not like, you're just helping people in business. And I think that's really important, because when I first started to not coach, but consult with people in business, what I found was a lot of the issues they had in business were actually nothing to do with the business. It was to do with them, some personal issue that they have. And I actually went and got a life coaching qualification because of this, because I was like, I don't know how to deal with all of this. I only know the business side of it. How much do you think that happens when people are having problems with their business?
Oh gosh, Lisa, my friend, this is like my favorite topic because I think what we try to do is we try to compartmentalize ourselves, right? Like there's me in the business, there's me and my family, there's me personal life. Actually, the truth is you are a whole person, and how you show up in your business and how you show up with your partner and, with friends, it's all the same. So the way we do one thing is the way we do everything. And so this is something when I started coaching, I was working with a lot of divorced women. Why? Because I just gone through that with a lot of, with health issues and struggles around just worthiness and confidence. And then I started to move into, as an entrepreneur grew my business, I worked with a lot of business leaders and entrepreneurs, and I started to see, holy shit, like actually what's showing up in your business and work and not speaking up or feeling self-doubt, it goes way back to the feeling of, doubting yourself or imposter syndrome or confidence or feeling like a fraud or not good enough or worthiness or the little, sometimes it's trauma with a lowercase t. Those are things to look at. And frankly, you wouldn't go to a therapist that is not trained. And so for me, having come from the psychology background, then the positive psychology and then coaching, I see it as a privilege because I'm like, look, you're a whole person. And when you start to shift that belief and those feelings and how you show up in, let's say, your personal life and your health and well-being with your family, with your partner, it is going to shift how you are in your
Mm.
business. I see it over and over and over. It's why I wrote a book called Get a PhD in You. It is all about, we study everything but ourselves. I'm like, what the hell? We need to know how to come home to ourselves and to own your power in a healthy way and to feel that confidence. This is not about ego. This is about, owning your gifts and strengths, and it's absolutely all related. We're not separate individuals. We're whole, you're a whole
Yeah,
person.
we're a whole person. I love that book title, by the way.
Yeah. It
PhD in
came
you.
to me after 20 years of literally doing some deep shit inner work. And I'm like, I feel like I just got a PhD in me. Now it took me 20 years. I'm like, it does not need to take you 20 years. You can do it.
Yeah.
That's why I wrote it. Yeah.
Going to help other people to do it a lot quicker. Talking of the fact, like you've got a lot of credibility in your field. You've worked with incredible companies and leaders. You are very qualified. You have all the things. How does it feel sometimes? Like I talk about integrity a lot in the industry, to see people kind of popping up and comparing themselves to someone who has all these qualifications and saying, well, I'm a coach now, whether it's a spiritual coach or, I'm a health coach or whatever, and they don't have anything other than they decided that morning. That must kill someone like you who studied for ages.
The way that I feel about it is it concerns me, and I get very worried for people that are going to be working with those coaches that don't have any kind of training or background. And I'm going to tell you right now, in addition, this is one of the reasons I started my own certification, because I was like, I want to teach people how to do this. And, to even teach, I still teach. I'm a professor at Georgetown University. I had to get board certified. I've three and my master's, it's not something, you are working with another person's energy field. It's a sacred, I see it as sacred work. Like you're really, it's you're working with somebody and their stories, their beliefs and their heart and their dreams. Like it is not something to just say, hey, I'm going to just do this. And whether it's my training, there's many different trainings. And I think there are some wonderful certifications and trainings out there. I would just say, what it scares me because I've had people that have come to my program, honestly, and I won't name names, that have done actually some of these larger, well-known programs, and they did not learn how to coach, and
No,
they got scripts, and I'm like, oh, no. This is like
it's
your
not something
job.
you have a script for.
Yeah, no. You're here to help the other person, like to hold a flashlight and for them to discover their brilliance, their best self. Like, it's way more empowering. There's a lot of reasons why that's the case. And I've had people come in that are like, I was coached by someone and this is what happened. And I'm like, holy crap. No, it is not about giving advice, and it's not about telling someone what to do. That is actually not what coaching is. So I've seen it and I'm like, good Lord, my fear is I don't want anybody, there's that Buddhist tenet, like, do no harm. For me, it's like, just let's all try to be kind and loving, compassionate, and do no harm. And
Yeah.
so just if you're thinking of being a coach, or you're saying you're a coach, I would get some sort of training behind, you would never go to a counselor who had no training.
No, you wouldn't. And it should be, you are working with people's whole selves, like their whole bodies and their minds. And it's really, really important that we're trained to be able to do that. So there will definitely be people who are like identifying right now with the fact that they are probably running on too much adrenaline. They haven't quite got everything figured out because they're not looking at themselves as a whole. If they want to come and work with you, where is the best place for them to find you?
Yeah. And, that's one of the things I teach in my program. I'm certified with the Heart Math Institute as a trainer. There's literally things you can do. Believe it or not, there's intelligence in your heart. There's an electromagnetic field. I won't go into all the science, but that's something that I teach both in my program, how to help others anchor in and to find that balance in their nervous system. So I work with people still one-on-one, and then also I teach coaches and I mentor coaches in my program. Best thing is just to go to my website, which is juliereisler.com. I do have if you want, I can share a little free tool set. This I created. It's a 7-day guide. It's a workbook. I take my favorite tools, and they're cool. They're not like typical tools. There's one on tracking your energy, on tracking, like, what the hell are you saying to yourself? I have some guided meditations in there, my intention cards. And if you just I can give you the link, but it's juliereisler.com/life coach tool set. And it's not just for coaches. It's for anyone that's like, you know what? I really want to feel more balanced. I want to feel more peaceful. I don't want to burn myself out, because we need you not to burn yourself out.
Yeah.
We need you to be whole.
Absolutely. I'll put that link in the show notes, guys. Go and pick that up. And go and check out Julie's website as well. Thank you so much for being here and talking about this. It's such an important subject. And I really want to see more people next year kind of recognize, before it's almost too late, that, there has to be a balance in things, and they need to get started working on this other side of themselves, so that they can be the best performer in whatever they're doing that they can be.
Well, I want to thank you, Lisa. I think you mentioned the word integrity. And to me, like, when I think of just incredible, entrepreneurial lights, I'll use my woo term of light worker. Like, you, to me, are just such a woman of integrity and truth and impact. And, I so appreciate you and what you're doing. And I just honored to be here. And frankly, this is so near and dear to my heart. I have struggled with my own health journeys. I've seen so many other amazing, ambitious leaders struggle, and it doesn't have to be that way. And so just appreciate you bringing me in this conversation, and really here to be a support for anyone that wants that kind of shift. And I just thank you for having me and for being a light.
Amazing. Thank you so much. And thank you guys for listening. And if you want to carry on this conversation and talk about how you're feeling, then come to my Facebook group, that strategy group, and we can have the conversation in there. But yeah, I will see you all again next week, and have a great day, whatever it is that you're doing. Thank you for listening to Making Money Online with Lisa Johnson. If you'd like to get hold of my guide to launching, go to lisajohnson.com/launch, and let's get you making money online.